All right, how's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us on yourcentralvalley.com on this Monday afternoon. So it takes a lot for a woman to work in the male-dominated industry, but it takes a lot more so we are in the middle of March and it is Women's History Month. So throughout the remainder of the month, we will be having a conversation with different women from all walks of life locally who have achieved amazing things and continue to break boundaries both in and out of work. So according to the National Fire Protection Association, of the 1.6 million in the U.S., only 7% are women. So Kerri Donis is the fire chief of the Fresno Fire Department you see here on your screen right now, and the first woman to ever hold the position in the department's 140-year history. So she is joining us now. Chief Donis, thank you so much for your time today.
Me.
Of course. So just tell us about your early career. How did you get started and what was it like climbing up the ranks?
Well, early in my career, I went to Fresno State and my degree was in exercise science. I didn't plan on being a firefighter. This career really kind of fell into it. So I got interested in it because everything it was about lined up with me being a student athlete. You have to be mentally and physically tough. You have to be disciplined, have a work ethic, you know how to be a team player, etc. So I pursued to the Fire Academy at Fresno City College and tested here at City of Fresno and was picked up in 1996. So since then, I just really have just taken every opportunity that was available, that I was eligible to take to promote of this department. I always wanted to use my degree and advance the department, and so I've been in this role for about a little over 7 years now.
All right, so you joined the Fresno Fire Department as an entry-level firefighter back in 1996, right? And then you moved up through the ranks. So was it all to get where you are now, or what are some of the difficulties that you had along the way?
No, I don't think any profession's just smooth sailing. 1996 is when I started as a firefighter, and then that's a drill school, and then the year of probation is just a year of proving yourself, making sure that everyone knows that you have a right to be there too, and you can do the job, which is what people just want to know, that you're able to do the job. And unfortunately, women have to prove that. It seems like more than men do in a male-dominated profession. But as we grow in this profession, I hope that we can eliminate that at some point.
Yeah, and hopefully that continues to change throughout the next few years, right? So how many female firefighters are currently in the department right now?
Currently there are 5 women that are in the field, and then myself is in administration. I'd say a total of 6. So that's really quite low. We haven't hired anyone in about 4 years, and we haven't been able to hire a female that could pass the background or the written test or the agility, probably. So I'm really excited about the opportunity of applying for the SAFER grant approved by council recently, and that we will be able to hire some women in this department in the next recruit class, both in the one coming up here in June, July, and maybe the one in October, November.
Right, and the women that are currently in the department, they're not going to stick around for long, right? So there is that difficulty to recruit more women, but there's also the issue of retaining those recruits, right? So what are some of the programs that were being held to educate and inspire young women to hold these positions, and what comes?
Sure. We have actively been recruiting not just women, but men, diversify our workforce, if you will, over the last several years. One specifically effort is a girls empowerment camp, and that is a specific women that are ages 14 to 18, and we introduce them to this profession of firefighting, because what we're finding is most of the time women just don't know that this is a viable option for them. I mean, quite frankly, when I was a young teenager, I didn't know that this was even on my radar. And so we really and just expose these young girls and women to, what it's like to hold a chainsaw and wear turnouts and climb a ladder. And we offer them a full day of just empowering daily activities. And, if just a few of those women say, yeah, this is for me, I really am excited about this, and pursue it, well, that's how we're going to build this workforce as we go forward.
Right, and just about breaking those societal norms, right, and to give these young women some options. So what are some, I know you mentioned that this program wasn't going on last year, right, but in the near future, is that something we'll put up again?
Yeah, we didn't hold it due to COVID last year, but we are optimistic to hold it this coming fall. We're looking at sometime in November. Hopefully COVID will pass enough and people will get their vaccines, and we can safely offer this opportunity for young girls.
Right, and I know it's all tentative right now, but for the young women who might be listening now, what are some of the activities that you guys have going, and what can they be involved in?
Sure, we we split all these young girls up into teams, and they learn how to cut a hole in the roof with a chain. They wear turnouts. They do a little physical activity on climbing stairs with a pack on their back, and they learn about the firehouse. They'll watch a car fire get extinguished and how we do that safely. We let them learn how to carry a hose line and put out a car fire. Teams, and we have safety precautions in place, and train female firefighters both from Fresno and around the valley that come in and really are the support system for these young girls during this day-long academy.
All right, that's so amazing. And just to touch on something personal, who is a woman that you admire and why?
I've thought about that. I don't know if it's just one particular woman. There's so many women that are inspiring, and they're strong. They've been just resilient in their efforts to achieve success, climbing, the ladder of success. But I'm also really an admirer of, a stay-home mom that has to make sure she manages the house and these kids off to school, and now during COVID, managing their school activities as well. That's that as well. I'm blessed. My wife is at home and she's watching our kids and making sure they're getting their schoolwork done, and so I have a balanced perspective on that. It's not just one particular woman that I admire, but if I had to pick one at the top of my list, it would definitely be my mother.
Definitely doesn't go unnoticed, right? So, and it's just a good thing that we have things like Women's History Month, where we can just shine a light on the efforts and the work that they have going on in the day-to-day lives. So how do you think colleagues, both men and women, can support the advancement of women in the workplace?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. When you look at talent, I think when you see young girls and women that want to achieve something, and maybe they don't have the right opportunity, boy, I feel like that's our responsibility to reach down and grab that talent and lift them up and away and sponsor them, or share your knowledge with that young person, to help prepare them for the workforce or whatever challenges might be in front of them, to be a good mentor. But I think, whether it's men or women, I think if they were to reach down and they see a young woman that might be interested in being a firefighter and have the kind of lean that way, boy, I would really invest in those people.
Right, because really there's no limits, right, no matter whether you're a girl or a boy. And just historically, do you think that women have been overlooked either in Fresno or nationally? Of course, nationally that seems to be the case, but what about in Fresno?
That's hard for me to say. Nationally, definitely. My experience in Fresno has been, I haven't been overlooked, but I also have worked very, very hard for my success. And it wasn't alone. There's always people, that were lifting and supporting me in my success. And when I look around the city, I see a lot of strong women that are in leadership roles in this community, which is, I think, really, really impressive. And throughout the community, throughout the city of Fresno and their administration, that were women. We have the district attorney and our sheriff and on, and our teachers. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here in Fresno for women. And I hope they wouldn't be overlooked. I think that women have a lot to offer. And I think I see that nationally as well, starting to come like an awakening.
Right, and hopefully that continues to become an upward trend, right? So just looking ahead, how do you hope to expand the educational opportunities for more women's opportunities at the Fresno Fire Department?
Yes, we have a really strong group of young women in our fire department, both not only in the field of firefighting, but also in our prevention division and other. And I think they're very, very positive role models for others to read. We have had our female firefighters be mentors to other women that are interested in this profession. I know we do that. I personally do that as well. The Girls Empowerment Camp is something that is not new to other parts of the country, but it is new to Fresno. And so we're really bringing that to the city of Fresno back in 2019 and then again this year and going forward. We also reach out to our high school sports teams, our junior college teams, and also at Fresno State women's sports teams to say, think about this as a profession. Recruit really strong women into this profession. But I will say that carries over to young men too. Our doors always open to them as well, and I'll share my knowledge and support to help them achieve their goal of becoming a firefighter equally.
All right, sounds like a lot of amazing for both young men and women head for the fire department. And Chief Kerri Donis, thank you so much for your time today. You are the first woman to hold the position in the department's 140-year history. Definitely an accomplishment right there, and hopefully that continues more and more throughout the next few years. Thank you so much for your time.